Hello and welcome to a short introduction to CREY. My name is Benjamin Flösser, and in this video I'll show you how games are created, distributed and monetized in CREY. We've now opened the editor and we've started out with a blank canvas. Before we start creating, we can press 9 to playtest. As you can see, we're immediately inside the game where we can play around and test the game. You can jump in and out of playtest whenever you like, allowing you to test and iterate on your game quickly and with ease. Let's check out the creation tools. At the top of the screen, you'll see a toolbar that gives users access to a range of tools. Users will be toggling between these tools while creating. We have 4 main tools and a variety of complementary tools, all available from the toolbar or through hotkeys. The first main tool is the sculpting tool. By simply clicking and dragging around the mouse, we can sculpt terrain and start creating an environment. Users can toggle between different stamps and even scale brushes to sculpt over a larger or smaller area. You can easily remove terrain as well. The sculpting tool is tactile and playful, and we see a lot of new users spend hours with this tool before exploring the rest. The second main tool is similar. We call it the paint tool. Again, simply by clicking and dragging the mouse around, we can paint over the terrain we just created. We can scale the brush in a similar fashion, and we can toggle between different textures to create variation. When you're happy with your terrain, you're ready to start working with the next tool. The third main tool is the prop tool. The prop tool is the most powerful and important tool in the editor, as it allows you to decorate your scene with beautiful assets as well as create gameplay logic for your game. After selecting the tool, you can open a library containing 20,000 plus assets covering a wide range of themes. You can select categories and search for assets, and once you find something you like, you can drag them onto your scene. Once the assets are in your scene, you can manipulate them by rotating them, scaling them, copying them, and moving them around. Assets in your scene are static and don't do much. So how do we create gameplay? First, we need to find the gameplay prop category in the library. Gameplay props are essentially small pieces of code that are bundled together into small components. Each component serves a different purpose, but can be combined and sequenced together with any of the other gameplay props. Let me show you how. Let's drag a rotator onto the scene. The rotator makes things rotate. And we do that simply by dragging a wire from the rotator onto the object we want to affect. We can now open the rotator and change the parameters. We can increase the speed, decrease the speed, or change the direction of the rotation. We can turn the rotator off, or we can leave it on. Now, if we want to make this conditional, we can find a green gameplay prop in the library and add that to our setup. So let's drag in a sensor. The sensor will send a signal whenever it detects a player. Let's place the sensor here, and let's drag a wire into the power of the rotator. Now the rotator will start when a player enters the sensor's area. We could also add another condition. Let's try and use the input trigger. The input trigger will send a signal whenever we press a certain key. Let's use P. Now, when we enter playtest, the rotator will be active when we press P. And that's the basics. These gameplay props can be sequenced in thousands of different ways, and they work with every single asset in the library. The possibilities are endless, and every time we add another component, it's like throwing another dice into the mix. The system is highly customizable and made for scale. Another important feature in the prop tool is boxing. We find boxes in the library. Let me show you how they work. I can select multiple assets in my scene, and I can add all of them to one box. They will now behave as one object. The cool thing about boxes is that I can upload them and share them with other users, eventually through a marketplace. This means that if I work 2 hours to create something, you can save those 2 hours by using my box. With time, the CREY marketplace will accumulate and compound millions of total hours, meaning that the time it takes to create will decrease drastically and the quality of what you create will increase. In time, you'll be able to create a game in 1 hour that has a total of 100,000 hours of work. And due to the accessible nature of our tool, every creator on the platform will be able to participate, meaning that we'll be compounding hours in our marketplace more effectively than any of our competitors. fourth and final main tool in the editor is World Settings. Here you're able to change environmental settings such as the sun direction, color, and intensity. You can also change the water, the exposure, or you can add fog to create more atmosphere. The world settings allow you to create your own aesthetic and vibe. We also have filters similar to those you see in other UGC media. Once we're happy with how the game looks, we're ready to save the game. To save the game, we simply click on the Escape menu and find the Save Project option. We can add a thumbnail here or simply take a screenshot from the editor. After saving is complete, we can close down the editor and head over to the website so we can release the game. On the website, we'll find our game under My Creations. On the game page, we can change various settings for the game, such as title and description. We can also toggle multiplayer with just one click. We're really proud of this, as creating a multiplayer game conventionally is about 3 times more time-consuming than single player. Our solution allows every creator to make multiplayer experiences, and all they have to do is click this toggle. We can now release the game. We do this simply by clicking the release button, and within seconds the game is released on CREY. The game is available through the CREY website, and users can share a direct link to the game page on external sites or chats. To share the game, we can copy the URL by clicking on the share icon, and now we can send the game to anyone we like. It's that easy. Now that we've created a small game and released it, let's talk about how we can monetize it. First thing we do is head back into the editor. To be able to set up the monetization system, we only need a few props to get started, namely the currency and Spark Exchange prop. We will now create our own currency with the currency prop. We'll call them diamonds. After that, we'll make a shop with the Sparks Exchange, where we can sell diamonds for Sparks, our platform currency. We can create different bundles simply by adding more options into the shop. We can also set up a regular shop where we can sell whatever we like. Could be power-ups, character customization pieces, weapons, titles, whatever you want to sell really. If we fast forward a little bit to a point when we have spent a bit more time editing, this is what a shop could look like. These shops can of course be boxed and shared to save users some time, and we'll be providing users with a variety of standard options to start with. That's it. We've now added monetization to our game. After we're happy with our shop, we can save the project and head back into the website. We can now update the description to let players know that we added a shop. After that, we can simply press Update Changes, and the game will automatically apply any updates we did. This is how fast you can update games with CREY. It's almost instant. Let's head back into the game and see if the updates applied. As you can see, we've successfully created an entire game in very little time. We've added monetization as well, and we've already had one successful update to the game. So that's it, CREY in a nutshell. A product that offers accessible yet powerful solutions across all areas of game development, from creation to distribution to finance. All weaved together into one product with one semantic and one design language, allowing creatives at all levels to participate in the creation of digital play. Thank you for listening.